Trying to make sure the microphones are on. We can get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a meeting. So calls meeting or special meeting started order and so. Okay, so we were going through this handbook, and the last time we stopped was at 1-10. That's the bottom of the hearing procedures. So I think what we should do, since I didn't compile it, because I don't have everyone's comments, I think what we'll do is just go page by page, and if you have a comment, just stop. Does that work for everyone?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll start with this. Determination of appropriateness is the top of the page.
And we're at 1-10, correct?
Well, the top of 1-11.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'll go first on this. The paragraph, the second full paragraph where it says the reader is referred to part 2. I only had a couple wordsmithing things. It just said, however, it is essential to understand that these guidelines are provided to assist the applicant in design matters, but should not be considered to represent absolute standards. And I think it originally said which can be, or ultimately which can be applied in all instances. I just changed it to the word that. So it just says absolute standards that must be applied in all instances. I think it's just wordsmithing, but if anyone objects, otherwise I'll leave it in. And then my second part is on that page, the only other thing I had was just a question on, it says decisions, this is a question probably for you, but decisions granting or denying an application shall be approved by a minimum of 3 commission members. 3 commission members present constitutes a quorum. Does that mean that 3 have to vote yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So there's 5 members, whether you're here or not. So 3 have to vote yes.
Okay. Then
so if there's 4, it has to be 3-1. If there's 3, it has to be 3-0.
So if 3 are here and if 2 vote yes and 1 votes no, it's no.
Denied. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's in some enabling rules.
Yeah,
it's not our rule, in other words.
No, it's the rules for commissioners. Say, for example, like the zoning board of appeals needs a supermajority, so they need a 4-1. So a 3-2 in the zoning board of appeals is a denial.
I'm just saying I read that somewhere else, Eric.
No, you're right. I was just confused because it said in parentheses 3 members present constitutes a quorum. So I just didn't understand that. I didn't understand it together, but that makes sense. So I'll just delete the comment. So on that page, does anyone else have anything?
No.
Well, I got some other edits down here on the first line. Do you have that in yours? Yeah, yours is there too. See,
which one?
First line of the last paragraph. Historic District Commission required to hold a public hearing, and it said decide on an application. It says make a decision on an application.
Yeah, that was
you, yeah. So we'll change it to hold a public hearing and decide on an application. Mm-hmm. And then did you have the second part which said and subsequently resubmit?
Is decide on application mean make a decision?
Yes. If you decide on something, you made a decision.
Okay. That's your legal opinion.
That is my okay. Not only do I play one on TV, but that is
and then you change it to if an application is withdrawn, any subsequently resubmitted application shall be a new application.
Yeah.
Instead of be considered to be.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. So anyone else on that page? Okay. How about the next page? I'll speak for John because he had a comment. He wanted to change the certificate of appropriateness is valid for 1 year from 5.
I'm totally opposed to that.
I agree.
I agree too.
Are you in any favor of shortening it at all?
I don't see any reason to shorten it. I don't see what the issue is. I mean, most planning and zoning commission
site plans by statute are
approvable
for 5 years.
I mean, you may get approval to do something and you may not decide to start for 3 years. Well, should you be penalized for that?
I have no problem with
state legislation requires 5 years on page C5, section 9-C.
for an
Okay.
approval of that type?
I'm
Then
fine.
let's change
It's 5 years is already above us as the requirement, so I don't think we have
Okay.
ready to change.
So it's valid for 5 years from the date of issuance. That's fine. An applicant may apply for and the commission may approve a 1-year extension only before expiration of the original certificate of appropriateness. I think that was in there. You just,
I think
you deleted
said
and.
What did it say before?
It didn't specify. That's how John was, his suggested that it included 1 year and then the wording about you can keep extending it. Because he was trying to relax it a little bit, I think. But if you, the original
So
language doesn't talk
before
about-
it said an extension,
Oh, so before it just said 5
An
years
extension.
period. Yeah, there was an and.
It's just before it used to say, and you can always apply for an extension before you run out.
So do you
Or
want
if you should reply before you run out. But then.
but it didn't say, it didn't say a 1-year extension, so you can apply for an extension.
right. So I
Yeah.
have the original
That's all
document here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm reading it here
Oh,
too.
sorry. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
really listening. I was like, so funny. So an applicant may apply for, and the commission may approve an extension only before expiration of the original COA.
There's maybe a typo in there. Maybe
Yeah.
it should be, instead of and extension, it's an extension.
And that's what I deleted.
Yeah.
I deleted and. That was my.
So do you want to just leave it as we can approve an extension period, or do you want to put a time frame on the extension?
What would be, my question is, what would be the end game of putting a time frame on it?
I think the only thing we're trying, what would be a good thing to do would be encourage people to finish projects.
Okay.
So things don't drag out. So by saying you got 5 years and then you can extend it a year and you could extend it another year, at least you're encouraging someone to kind of
Wrap it up.
for what reason?
We could also tell them.
I mean, why do you care?
some
I mean,
stuff.
realistically, do you really care? I mean, if it's a site plan approval and someone's supposed to, tear something up or whatever, but if it's a historic district and I can make a modification to my house, I'm not sure I care if it takes them 15 years to do it, because it's just their house, right? I mean, I hear what you're saying, Eric, but
But the question is, what exact, seriously, just step back for a second. What is the question when you get a certificate? What's the 5 years apply to
do it,
to complete the project?
right? To complete what's in the,
To get a building permit.
To start.
to start the work.
Yeah,
oh, it's to start, not to complete.
It's to start, yes, to get the building permit is the whole nother step. And then there's timeframes associated with that.
yeah.
Oh, okay, well then if that's the case, then I'm fine
Yeah.
just not giving a time frame to the extension.
Because it can drag on forever,
Right.
as long as he builds what he said he or she.
They can do it anyway, so what does it matter?
So, yeah.
Okay, so just may approve an extension.
Yes.
So this next paragraph, I had some
Big,
big
big edits.
big edits to it, yeah. So I said, any significant change in detail or scope of work from that authorized by the certificate of appropriateness requires approval of a new certificate of appropriateness by the Historic District Commission. Minor and incidental changes may be approved by the Historic District Commission during the old business portion of the public hearing and shall be approved by a minimum of 3 commission members. If applicant is not requested in advance of the meeting to be added to the agenda for approval of the non-material change, the commission may vote to add the non-material request for change to the agenda and then may vote on the request during the hearing. So what I'm saying is that if you're going to make a significant change, you got to refile. If it's a minor or incidental, you can come if you ask for it ahead of time. If you don't ask for it ahead of time, someone just shows up, we have the right to change it. But it's got, and the only other thing I'm thinking about it as I said this is I just would change material to minor and incidental and use it across the board. Because otherwise it says material changes, which means you're thinking of just materials.
Doesn't material change there mean material, not immaterial, but material as
Yeah.
significant?
There's
substantive.
two materials
Yes.
meanings in the same sentence.
That's the legal definition, but
I think it's confusing.
but it confuses people because we're always asking what the material's made of.
Right. So I could just change it to if the applicant has not requested in advance the meeting to be added to the agenda for the approval of the, instead of non-material, just change it to of the incidental, minor and incidental
Minor and
change,
incidental, sure.
change the commission may add. I mean, we'll have a chance to clean this up one last time when we do a final copy,
Sure.
so.
Like that sounds.
But does everyone kind of agree with the?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it grants us some flexibility that I think we should have, because a lot of times,
Right, because someone
I
comes
agree.
up and says, I want to go from this shingle to this shingle. And we're like, fine.
Right. The commission may also elect to defer such a vote to a subsequently scheduled regular meeting if necessary, or to a specially scheduled meeting. So if we determine that it's too major, not minor, then we can make them come back. So. And then I changed the last two paragraphs. If an applicant has previously been issued a notice of violation, no new certificate of appropriateness shall be issued or approved until the original violation has been corrected and verified by the building official. That's comes from John more, but
Right.
I see what he's saying too.
That came up during one of our meetings, that example came up during one of our meetings. Right?
Well,
Yeah,
it came up, it
it
came
was
up.
the driveway.
The driveway
The
guy.
driveway guy. And he didn't, I'm not picking on him, but in his position was, we shouldn't approve what he wanted to do to the house until he fixed the driveway.
Yeah,
And that's what this is saying.
yeah. And I don't think they should be tied together. I don't think it's material. I mean, if someone screws something or somebody hasn't finished something and then they want to go side their house, I'm not sure that they're connected.
But doesn't finish something is different than like doing something wrong and then trying to do more things.
I don't know, but what my confusion with even that any case is that there's a difference between he has a certificate of appropriateness and he hasn't done it yet. Is different than he's in violation.
Right. What I'm saying is if you're in violation, you can't go
Yeah.
get a new.
So my question about violations, as you guys know, I've been a little confused about
What is a violation?
why it was a violation. Because sometimes we're just asking people to appear before us. Is that a violation? We're asking them to clarify or, resubmit. Is that a violation? I mean, I'm thinking like, do they actually get a parking ticket kind of thing?
Well, this says has been issued a notice of violation. So I'm assuming that means you sent out a
But that's an
letter.
official thingy.
Right, probably by the direction of you or whomever, but let's, like, for an example, if someone widened their driveway from 10 feet to 16 feet without a permit, and then we sent out a notice of violation, and then in the meantime, they came in for window changes.
Yeah, that
you
makes sense
wouldn't
to me.
Want to do that. You would want them to correct.
I think the
original.
notice of violation, I just want to get clarity around what's the notice of violation, Eric. That's what I'm talking
no,
about.
An actual
yeah.
letter
So
sent to them.
Yeah.
But do you think it'd be reasonable to make them correct the violation before?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Before they can do anything else.
Sure.
Because you
Sounds
couldn't
kind of
like,
punitive to me.
but
No,
you can't.
well,
act
they could never get corrected then if they can go on and continue to do things like.
I mean, you can't act on a site. If something's wrong on a site, you can't act on a new site plan until you resolve the problems, right?
Right.
I'm not asking it the right way, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I think it's very appropriate.
Now, hearing that from you, that flips me to agreeing with that sentence. I have no problem with that. I was on the fence before, but hearing that logic, I'm fine with that.
I think he's right there, because otherwise something could never get resolved until it was already drawn way out, if it ever got dragged way out. So,
Well, except that it begs the question with regard to if something doesn't get resolved or can't get resolved, I'm not sure that that's related. That's an issue of not being able to resolve something. But if someone wants to change their windows out, I don't see how they're related.
well, I think it kind of gives them some emphasis to
It's like
correct.
Oh, it definitely,
It's an
does.
incentive to fix the problem.
Yeah,
the
it does.
initial problem.
It does. I just not sure. Just sounds kind of like we're a police force or something.
And what about the case where they're in violation and they're coming with an application to say, I want approval for what was a violation? Because, like, I want my.
Well, that's acting on, that's trying to remedy
They're trying to
the
remedy.
violation. So
We could approve that.
that's what they're supposed to do.
Right,
Yeah.
because that would eliminate the
violation.
violation.
right.
Right, so it's a little, I don't want to get too legalistic, but I don't want to get caught up in our
But
own rules.
that's
so.
applying to the violation.
Yeah,
So this paragraph is saying you have a
Something-
violation and you want
Do
to
something
on the
different.
driveway and you want to do new windows. those are two separate projects. Your
Right.
examples want the same
Yeah, it's the
project,
same
so
thing.
it's not
Right.
applicable to
Right.
this, in my mind.
So the whole idea here is that we're holding them hostage. We're not holding them hostage, but we're giving them motivation to fix the first
Encouraging them
thing.
to fix the problem.
Yeah. Before they move on to.
I think most people would remedy the problem versus just being like, well, screw it, I'm gonna put the windows in too. I'm gonna do this. Because if you do that, that's someone you're never gonna solve
Right.
anything with.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
All right, so we'll leave it and on a final draft. If anyone wants to push back, we can. So I had one addition here that I added today. I just added one line that said all work included as part of a certificate of appropriateness must be completed before the historic district enforcement officer may sign off. The language might be wrong, but this got back to John's comments about I think Pizzetta actually. And I do agree with what he's saying. I think you should finish the job before you can use it. Because like the previous part, someone could just elect not to do the expensive part of the project. And then you've got to, they've done part of it, but not all of it. And you're giving them the ability to use it. Does that make sense?
Kind of goes back to the 5-year approval. I think. I mean, if it's still a valid permit and they're still doing it, it's not in violation.
But I think it's relative more to commercial than it would be like residential.
Mhm.
It's not, you're gonna be there chasing someone down that can't use your living room because you didn't, whatever.
Right.
But
yeah.
I think for the commercial pieces, like, what if I was like, I'm just gonna use my thing as an example. What if I was building my building for 5 years
Mm-hmm.
and it was like done, but all the aesthetics, all the architectural details and everything weren't finished? Like if I left the railing off the roof and all that stuff, all the screening, and I'm like, well, I can use the building. I'll deal with that later, and I'll deal with that in 4 years.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
I think if you're going to do it and you're going to finish it, you should finish it and approve it instead of like approving pieces of it.
Okay. I think with the other, maybe with the building's already in use, it was in continual use. I think with the example you're using.
No, he was talking, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but from what I understand, he was specifically related to the use of the deck in the back.
The upper deck?
Yeah.
Are they using that now?
I don't know.
Okay.
But if they
because
were,
we prohibited them from using it because they weren't finished.
Okay, so then but if that's the case, then are you agreeing with what I'm saying?
Yeah. If it's a new project and like the Pizzetta building a deck and that's all new, and you need to finish that before I mean, that goes with the.
You finish the screening, finish.
I would think so. Yeah.
Because how could you even have zoning sign off?
Right. I mean, because there's a historic district permit. You would need to final that before we could do I think we would do that before the building could do a CO on that.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
But John seemed to be alleging in his emails that.
I think he was lying to her. I thought he was talking about the lower patio. That's what I thought.
That's the one that's been continually in use, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because patio deck, that's what I was thinking. Lower patio was the ground level.
Okay. So are we okay though with saying, is everyone okay with saying finish everything?
Yeah.
I think you have to, otherwise they wouldn't. Like you said, why would you ever finish it?
You have to finish it before you can use it.
Here's my question. Somewhere in here it says you can't make them build, you can't make people build stuff. You can't make them they get a certificate, they don't have to do it. Right. So
but if they were doing it,
But if
and
they
it's like
started,
it's
don't they
under
have to finish
construction,
it?
they were doing
here's an
something.
example. We've got somebody coming, I don't want to talk about real cases, but it helps me think about things.
Yeah.
There's somebody who wants to put shutters, they come and get a thing for shutters on their house. And they run out of money, let's say, because they're really expensive shutters, and they only put them on the front. So they didn't do everything they said they're going to do. Are we really going to compel them to put the rest of the shutters on?
I don't think it's meaning to compel someone to do it. I think what he was getting at was that it's easier to use it as an example, but they were using new parts of the project, completely new space.
Right.
But they never finished like the screening on the air conditioning.
Right. I
So
understand.
could you partially complete a project to be able to get the commercial
good stuff,
income?
right.
The good stuff. but not do the expensive stuff that no one really wants to do anyways.
Should we
Right.
clarify,
So
like
what are we
in
saying,
your
that
case
then-
is residential and your case is
I
commercial?
mean, I'd be fine with
Should-
saying all commercial.
Commercial projects.
But
to
things like
clarify.
the screening the thing, I think that's reasonable to make them,
Yeah,
especially commercial, not finished.
Yeah,
screening.
that would be different if they never put in the air conditioning unit that they didn't have to
Right.
screen.
Right.
But if they
right,
put in the air conditioning unit, well, then you have to screen it.
Right.
So
right,
that's
right, right.
an
So that's kind of
example.
what I'm getting at.
I also don't mean.
If they didn't
They had a
replace
big
the windows
project
and then they
and they
didn't
had
do
air
the shutters,
conditioning,
fine.
And they didn't do the air
Yeah.
conditioning. You know what I mean? So I'm
Mhm.
trying to walk this, they didn't put all the shutters on, we really care. I mean, as long as what they're doing.
No, I think that if they never touched it and said, we're just not doing that side of the house,
Right,
then yeah, that's. So it remained the same. I think is
They
the thing,
haven't
is it
started
remained the
something
same.
and unfinished it, if they didn't put shutters on it. No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another architectural
Oh,
detail.
what
that
if
they-
someone said they were gonna put up a mini split with a line hide, covering
Right.
the lines, and they just were like, I'm not putting the line hide up. And you just have the pipes just flapping in the breeze on the side of the building. I think it'd be reasonable to say, hey, cover the line sets. Put the plastic up.
I understand that. But if it was a bigger house, I'm just turning it around saying they're putting an addition on and they decide, and we approve the addition, right? So they're a new bedroom or like, then he said, I'm not going to bother air conditioning that piece. We approved the air conditioning. They built the new part. And they didn't finish it because they didn't put the air conditioning or the mini split in because they decided I ran out of money I don't have the 10 grand for the mini split, so I'm not doing it. And I'm not screening it because it doesn't exist, but the whole addition is new. So we approved a new thing that's incomplete.
I would be fine just saying all commercial.
Yeah.
Well, I think that would be fine. If that section where the mini split, just nothing changed.
Well,
Or
I was
less
talking about
than,
they
then-
did a new room, but they
Yeah.
didn't do all the stuff they're gonna do on it. Well, they do a new thing and they say, I'm gonna put a balcony on top and walk out on a deck. We approve all that. And at the end they say, I don't want to do that. I'm not putting the balcony and banisters up there, but I still did the
I
addition.
think they could come back though and just say, I want to eliminate the balcony.
Yeah, that would be when it comes back as old
Right,
business
right,
and
right.
say, we're making this modification because we
Makes
can't do a
sense.
deck.
Makes-
Because that would change the look of the building then.
I think the
Of what
only
it
thing
Yeah,
you want
yeah. No, I'm just wondering, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much.
No,
about it.
no, I
No,
just
it makes
think
sense.
you only want to direct this at enforcing it where it's done. Where it's like a privacy or screening component or something that like just wasn't finished that like should be finished
That's
to
ugly.
complete
Yeah,
the project.
right.
And,
Okay, no, no.
and to me, it's
So there's still some judgment involved about what
Yeah.
they're finishing and not finishing, I guess is what I'm.
Well, because Tom can't just bring a notice. You just can't arbitrate. We have to direct you to do it, right?
You would direct me, or if I saw something, I would tell you and you would.
Right. But
Tell
we're
me
not,
to do it,
no
yeah.
one's gonna like, you're not just gonna be out there being like, oh my God, you didn't do this. So like.
They didn't put all their
you know.
shutters up, which.
Right. If it came to a time where they wanted a request for, a completion, then I went out there and said, no, you're not done, or you didn't do
Or
this.
they'd come back and say, I don't want to put the shutters on the back of the house because I ran out of money, and would say,
Right.
okay, fine. Didn't
Yeah.
have any shutters anyway, so. I mean, all those are workable, right?
Yeah, I think you could work your way out of all of it,
Yeah,
including if you wanted to come back and say, I don't want the screening, but some stuff
yeah.
you can't get out of no
Right.
matter what.
Well, it's for,
a zone.
I mean, recently there was a project, I won't name the address, but they didn't comply with what you had asked, so I had them come back here.
All right,
And they came back and presented what they had, so.
all right.
I think what you gotta remember too is when people are nearing completion on their projects, their objective is to get a certificate of approval, get the permit closed.
Yeah.
A certificate of occupancy, so they can legally, under the building code, use the space. So it's in their best interest to meet all the conditions of their original approval.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree, good.
So we'll leave it and we'll just, whatever. Does anyone else have anything on that page after I butchered the whole thing? One, twice.
That's good.
Okay.
113.
What about this thing at the bottom here about the appeal period?
Oh, extend the appeal period to 30 days. I don't think so.
No, it's 15 days. Then everybody's 15 days.
I think that's a statute.
Within
I think they're
15
That's a
days.
state statute for site plans, it's a
Yeah.
15-day
So it should
period,
just
you
stay
can't
at
change
15
that.
days.
Yeah. Okay. You had two small things on the next page, just, you said authorized to inspect and examine any building, structure, place, or premise.
Yeah, I took out place.
You deleted place.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that because it's kind of ambiguous.
What is a place?
Anyone? And then you said any such order or notice shall.
I just
State
deleted a
that-
comma after violation.
Oh, okay, that's easy.
We don't need a comma there, Bill.
I know I deleted it.
Oh, okay. You can use it if you want to.
I'm against it.
The hard-
I'm an Oxford guy.
Okay.
Does anyone else have anything on that page?
Okay, that's page 13.
No, yeah, 113.
No.
14, I had one comment, which was just liable parties. I said, it said agent for any of the above. I would just delete that because that gets way too deep.
I was wondering what is, just from my own educational point, what does that mean? An agent for any of the above, like a representative?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone?
Well, agent is a term on the application.
Right, it's owner or agent. An agent
Yeah.
can be the builder, the architect, the engineer.
Where you list the property owner, leasee, or tenant, architect, engineer, builder, contractor, and then it says agent for any of the above. I just think that I would just take that line out because
Yeah, a consultant would be an agent or whomever
Mm-hmm.
represented everybody. Yeah,
it seems a little deep.
yeah,
Because
it's
it
an
says-
all-encompassing term.
It says such parties may include, but are not necessarily limited to. So if you
I guess you
like,
can leave it.
so you could say consultant, but no, we can, my point is supportive. You can delete it because just because a consultant's not listed doesn't mean they can't
Oh,
represent.
Okay,
Because in that previous
yeah,
phrase, it's not necessarily limited to any of the following.
all right,
So get rid of agent.
we'll just delete that. Anyone else?
Or leave it in because it doesn't make any difference. And it's more scary if it's in there.
I just think it's
Agent.
confusing.
007.
Next page is nothing. 2-1, you highlight. Highlighted something again,
Yeah, it's the primary goal.
for the town's historic districts.
Are there secondary goals? If you have a.
No,
Yeah.
for what it's worth, not to jump ahead, but the next whatever 10 pages in this section that we were going to go over, I didn't really have a lot of changes because I thought it was a relatively well written.
Mhm.
Besides a few typos. Is it?
No,
But I
I
don't-
think the word primary just jumped out at me. It's like,
I mean, one just delete it and just say the goal.
That's fine too.
I mean, are there what are our secondary goals? What are our tertiary goals? Like
That's perfectly fine. You just
Okay.
leave primary, I think, and it works just as.
either way, I mean,
Right.
it's just something I wanted to voice, and
You're right with the goal.
if Todd says leave it,
I'm
then
fine.
Todd says leave it.
Either way.
All right, we'll call it the goal. I had nothing else on that page. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Shortlisted design objectives 2-2. I had nothing there. Next page 2-3. I had nothing there. If anyone has anything, just jump in.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any edits of mine afterwards. I wonder if that is where I left off, and that's why I highlighted it. 'Cause that's where I stopped.
To highlight a good word. A lot of this stuff is just historic in nature, so I thought it was basically fine. The next page I was okay with. The orientation, I mean, I'm fine with 2-5. There was on the next page, 2-6. Size was italicized in the beginning, but I don't really understand why, so I just changed it back to not. It seemed like an odd choice. And then I did add one line here, though, at the end of the size section. I just said size should be especially considered in new construction or extensive remodels of residential structures to ensure harmony with the surrounding homes. basically what I'm just trying to say is like, it should fit in. I think it's wide open enough that it can be left up to interpretation, but I think it would be weird to put a mansion up next to a bunch of capes.
Right. That last sentence, in the end, it is the apparent scale of the structure, not its actual size, that is critical in determining appropriate architecture in historic district.
You want an example?
Yes,
I think if you took the house on the top of Fort Rachel and just stuck it on a flat lot,
it
wouldn't be that bad.
it wouldn't be that bad,
As bad.
as bad. Okay.
I think the fact that it's like up there, and if you're standing on Fort Rachel or in Frankengig's yard and you're looking at it,
Yeah,
I think it's
okay.
that's where they're trying to draw a determination, I think.
Or you could have a facade in the front that looks very small and then additions on the back that you can't really see.
Okay.
So it could be twice as
Yeah.
big, but you can't tell from the street.
Like that skinny house on Gravel Street, or
Yeah,
it
yeah,
goes
probably.
all the way
The
back.
house that goes on
Yes.
forever.
Well,
Right.
yeah, when you make the left, it just
Right.
Yeah,
keeps
that
going,
one, yeah.
Okay. No, I just, again,
I think what they're also saying is don't necessarily worry about the square footage, worry about like what it looks like.
okay.
Anyone have any problems with my sentence? No. All right, then I had nothing else there. I had nothing on the next page, which just goes into massing, which I think is, again, well written. I mean, I think a lot of the stuff we consider, so I don't think there's a lot to change. Then 2-8 goes into the styles. I think that's fine. I think most of the architects and people proposing projects put them in that. I do think there's a really good discussion about not making everything look old, for what it's worth, to support your years of criticizing me.
I criticize.
Never. 2-9. Again, I didn't actually have anything. There was a comma somewhere. And then 2-10, which I wanted to get to, that was it.
If we want to go back over this and just double check, we can bring it up at the next meeting if they're like minor. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think any of these discussions should be considered final.
Okay.
No. I think also the point wasn't to completely rewrite it. The point's just to clean it up.
No, absolutely.
So that's kind of it. Do we want to set something for next time, or you want to wait one more meeting?
Let's schedule the next session,
So that we could all.
Eric, so we know. I mean, it can be whenever.
Does anyone object to next time?
That would be the 17th.
Yeah. How many pages do you want to get through? We've gotten through a third of it.
I think this section, it doesn't have a lot of, I think we should be, I don't want to say aggressive, ambitious for the next session.
So 211 through. You want to say. I want to say 220. I'll find a good stopping point. I want to say 227, where it starts on entryway and porches, just right before that, and that'll get us through the next. We'll get us up to page 90.
Okay. That's good.
Actually, 90.
So 211 to 227.
to 226.
26.
There's a little carryover in the next page. And I think you're right. Most of this stuff is stuff that we're
not going to fight with,
No.
we're just going to clean up a sentence or two.
I think the only thing that we need to consider, a couple things that get questioned a lot, is windows and exterior siding.
Okay.
Those are two particular areas.
Okay, so for the 17th.
Yeah, are you okay with that?
Mhm.
You're fine with that?
Somebody should probably put it in the form of a motion.
I make a motion to meet on October 17th and discuss HDC edits at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
I
Special
second
meeting.
that. Unless-
Second,
All in favor?
Brady, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Heitzman, aye.
So we'll meet then. Okay. We'll call this adjourned.
Motion to close the special meeting.
We
I move to
we
adjourn the
just said
special meeting.
adjourned. Done. That's one. You guys good? Okay, we'll call this meeting of the Historic District Commission to order at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, October 3rd. And I will appoint Heitzman and Goodrich as full members. Todd, would you read the call?
Sure. Town of Groton notice of public hearing, Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Groton Town Hall Annex, 134 Groton Long Point Road, and virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. HCC 23-0021, 2 Gravel Street, Peter Springsteel applicant, Town of Groton owner, exterior renovations, electrical enclosure and pergola, PIN number 2619184123131E. ACC 23-022, 12 Water Street, Todd Brady, owner applicant, ADA ramp modification, PIN number 2619183055500. HDC 23-0223, 12 West Main Street, Rachel Intrieri, applicant, Eric Burns, owner, sign installation, PIN number 2619184120081. ACC 23-0024, 31 Gravel Street, Kathleen and Brian Edmonds, owner applicant, shutter replacement, PIN number 2619184242262. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website meetings calendar. Applications are on file and available for public inspection during normal business hours at the Planning Department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut. Dated this 26th day of September, 2023 at Groton, Connecticut. Todd Brady, Secretary.
Thank you. I will waive the hearing procedures. If anyone wants to read a copy, they're over there on the yellow document or yellow pages. And we will jump right in. We'll start with the HTC 23-0012. This is 81 High Street. Daniel Pennington.
Good evening.
Hi. Just give your name and address and then continue from there.
Yeah, my name's Dan Pennington. I am a consultant at Trinity Solar. I'm here representing the request of Lori and Mark uh, from 81 High Street, and we're just kind of following up on our call from a couple weeks ago. You guys had requested just some additional detail on the plans to indicate the type of siding that we were going to use, which I've since updated, and happy to share with you.
I wasn't here, so
That was last week.
yeah.
It was for the addition. Wasn't that for the addition that your little?
Yeah, from what I understand, everything was approved. What you had requested was that we just increase or specify the type of siding that was used. It just kind of had been listed as to match the dwelling, but
Yeah, we wanted specifics so that we
Right,
could.
so is that in the application?
It wasn't in the original.
It wasn't.
No,
Yeah.
did you, I'm asking you put it in this application. Has it been submitted?
He's muted. Daniel, you're muted.
yes, I had to rejoin as a panelist. So there we go. Okay. Yep. Go ahead. Sorry.
So Daniel, you put that in this new application, you've added the siding?
I did. I sent it over to Susan, you know, where it is, or whether or not it's on your desk. I'm not entirely clear, but I can share with you what I have if that's helpful.
What is it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Like, what are you planning on using?
It's just cedar siding. So as opposed to using a composite, we're just going to use actual cedar siding with a 4 1/8 inch reveal to match exactly what's on the home. So everything will look, the door trim detail, the siding detail will be identical to what's installed on the home.
You want to just write it in? We're just gonna write it in on the sheet, if that's all right.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Because I don't see it in there.
Did it not get submitted?
Yeah, it should have gone submitted.
Yeah. And what I did, you know, are you able to see
There you
the
go. It's
screen?
on the screen.
Yeah. I mean, I just, you know, siding, cedar, bevel, and I just kind of put it up here, cedar, 4 1/8 inch reveal, which matches what's on the home. Also, the existing door trim would be square edge, matching door trim.
Is this drawing? This is what you submitted to Sue recently?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
And this is the modification. Let me see.
Yeah, should be in there.
Should be in here.
I didn't see it, so.
What page is it, Tom? You know?
I don't know where it is.
Oh, yeah. Go back one page.
It's on the previous page.
No, this was the drawing that we received
The first time.
2 weeks
Right.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see
That drawing isn't in here. But
Do you want to just write it in there?
Or ask him
I
to
don't see any
resubmit.
electronic packet either.
you want to blow that up a little bit and I'll just copy what it's, I'll just write onto this.
Daniel,
what
can
it says.
you yeah, zoom in so we can copy.
Cedar bevel 4 1/8.
And for what it's worth, there's the photo. That's the existing siding. So we're just going to make sure it matches that identically.
Right, that's all we needed.
Yeah, and it will be cedar too. So I mean, the composite would look the same, but we're going to use cedar just to make sure that it's exactly the same.
Okay.
And that's it. Any other questions I can answer?
Anyone?
Fine with me.
Anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? Right, HDC 23-0012 is closed. HDC 23-0017, 3 Orchard Lane.
Materials listed in the application. It was submitted online.
You look cedar slats, metal frame.
Yeah, no, yes. Cedar slats 1x4. That's the original.
It's,
That was.
That's-
Oh, I got it.
was
Okay.
All right.
that no one saw, but I submitted, but here's the amended one that went in.
Yeah, we've got that.
Cedar slats 1x4,
Got
2-inch black metal posts, 27 feet long.
And it's, what I left out is that it's, the post will be 37 inches high and the slats only gonna be 36. Only goes to 36. If you need that.
The posts are gonna be 37 inches off the ground.
Do you want to give it some leeway? Just so
Yeah.
Do you want to say 42 inches?
I'd say up to 42, so she has some leeway, yeah.
Yeah, because it could vary a little bit.
Okay with that.
We're trying to keep them in order.
Try and save you any problems,
Yeah.
Emery.
no,
Anything
that
else?
was, yeah, that was all you were missing last.
Right.
Anyone else? Good. Thanks. Anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? HTC 23-0017 is closed. HTC 23-0019, 14 Bank Street. Did I hear? Ryan Rob Toy. Window replacement. So we'll wait. All right, moving on. HTC 23-0021, 2 Gravel Street. Peter?
Good evening, Peter Springsteel, architect, 105 Star Street. I'm here tonight representing actually the town of Groton, owns this parcel. It's the pump station on Gravel Street, address is 2 Gravel. Here with several items on this particular property. Primarily, we're adding a pergola on top of the pump station. And I've been here several times with different alternatives for that. And we've landed on the actual pergola looking structure, which I'll show you in a moment. And we're also here for work that was done on the pump station without a HTC permit, which was new siding, new roofing, some light fixtures, which I'll show you as well. And then the third thing is we're proposing in the pump station property to tear up some of the concrete paths and use a paver material in its place. Create a little more pedestrian friendly, warmer type of environment. This brick here is a sample of the brick that we want to use for that. This plan here shows the layout of the brick in the areas that we're doing in brick. This being Gravel Street. This is the existing parking lot. So this sidewalk here along the water between the pump station will wrap around the side of the building that butts up against Central Hall. And then a couple of places, sections right up against the pump station on Gravel Street itself. And presently that material is concrete. These drawings here are showing you elevations of the proposed pergola structure, which is this here and here. We also have a shop going from the manufacturer that I can enter into the record. I think you already have this. It's a fiberglass product. It'll be in a white color. And all the detailing for that is enclosed in this document, which I think you have in your record there.
Yeah, it's in there.
Also, I forgot to mention, you're going to be running some power to the parking lot
There's gonna be some chargers out there in the parking lot, electric vehicle chargers. So we had to bring in a lot of power, and we're gonna be mounting panels and meters on the front of the pump station, and we'll enclose that with an AZAC enclosure and paint it out to match the trim on the building. These elevations are also showing you what the owner did, or the leasee, I should say, Central Hall did to the building without an HDC permit. There was wood shingles on this roof here, and they were all sort of worn out, so we replaced those like for like. So maybe that's not really an HDC matter, but we did replace it. The siding on the pump station was vinyl. And you see various replications of the building in Groton. There's one down in Nowak, and it's all vinyl. It's kind of not nice looking. So we replaced the siding, the vinyl siding, with a shiplap, 8-inch shiplap, and corner boards. And we repainted the panel doors. I've got some photos here to give a better rendition of what it's like. So they did these built-up corner boards, and there you can see the shiplap, two-tone paint. And we painted the doors a navy color, which is going to match the carport.
Slide that on.
There you go. That navy blue is going to match the carport canvas that you've approved a long time ago that may be up there sometime. So that ties the pump station to Central Hall to make it a little more unified project.
On that one, is that the EV pump station? I mean, not pump, EV generators power? Is that what those little
No,
pump?
those are not in at this
Those are
point.
not, okay.
I imagine we have to come back to get those approved. Or not.
You're putting generators in or just charging
The
stations?
charging stations.
Okay.
Charging stations,
Yeah.
I have to come back. To
Yeah,
okay.
Do you for charging station?
I would think so. If we need approval for
Solar.
a gate or something like that, you need approval for a charging station. Is it gonna be like a pedestal type deal? You have no idea.
But we'll come
Yeah.
back with something.
Probably have to do that, Eric.
Won't hurt you to come back.
For Tesla versus someone.
But you'd have to get Elon to go along with you for that.
Are we going down the road? No, the chargers are not shown here.
Okay.
We do have the light fixtures are already installed, but those are the light fixtures.
I think you might have been asking because about the stuff they're gonna put, but they're gonna enclose it in a box. So all we care about is the box.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if that was the box. I wasn't sure what I was looking at.
The box that we are providing is this
Box.
guy
It's a
right
single
here,
box.
which will enclose, panels and
Right.
meter boxes, unsightly stuff.
You have to replace, you're gonna have to replace the service? The
This
electrical service, or is it new
This
service?
is a totally new service.
Okay.
Because we're gonna run the lighting on the pump station so that we have control of it. And the chargers, there's gonna be a gate going too. I think that was on the original site plan, so if you want us to come back with that, Tim, I mean, that site plan was like. I don't know if you ever got an HTC project.
Come back. It's better to come back
Okay.
than not to.
And these photographs and everything were in the application, correct?
These were not,
They were not?
so I'm gonna enter those. And there are some bollard lights proposed. And on this plan, you can see them 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bollard lights surrounding the parking lot. And I believe there's some in already on the Central Hall property that are the same. They look like this. So those are proposed as well.
So that's not in the application either,
That was not in the
submitted
submission.
with it. You guys want to take a look, closer look at that?
Can I reference those photos again?
These?
These here. One other thing I wanted to bring to your attention is that there's a streetscape light. That sits on the boundary line of the Central Hall property and the town property. And it's kind of jammed in there. I'm not showing the top of it, but you know what they look like. And we're going to propose to remove that because we've added all kinds of lighting on Central Hall and on the pump station that lights the area adequately. We'll have to get permission from the town, obviously, to do that. But while I'm here, I just thought I'd mention that. I don't know if you have any objections to it. That's not part of the application.
That's it. That'll be if with
Give
us.
us feedback, that would be nice.
That's not part of the application
No.
we're voting on tonight, but you're just looking for feedback for when you do come back.
Yeah. Did you want this one?
That's not in the application?
That is in the
Yeah, that
application.
is.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Okay.
And we don't want the brick.
So we'll be voting on the brick, the already done like siding and lighting,
Pergola,
and the addition of the box. Is
the electrical enclosure, yeah.
that it?
Yes.
But you're asking for feedback on removing the light.
Yeah, if I'm out of order, just say so, I'll do it another time.
I think it's. Well, I don't have an issue with it.
I don't either. I mean, you've added a lot of nice lighting in there. Why?
Yeah.
Have something sticking out of there that doesn't belong.
My only question, and I have no problem with you removing it, is the statement adequate. I was just wondering if there's a measure that.
It's pretty bright.
Is it, okay, no, and again, I'm not challenging
Yeah.
the concept, I'm just wanna like. I want you to get in trouble if you remove the light and say, I'm just picking it up, you know, this gave
Yeah.
out 10 lumens, but what you're doing is only 8 lumens, so it's not.
Yeah, we'll be going through a process with the town, I'm sure they'll question all that,
Okay.
but yes, thank you.
Anyone else? You good?
I said I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah. Anyone in the audience have anything to say?
Very agreeable today. Let's get it going.
Support of the application? Anyone against the application? HTC 23-0021 is closed. HTC 23-0022 12 Water Street.
I'll recuse myself from this hearing.
Thank you.
You gotta introduce yourself, Peter, and put the microphone up close because they're not having a little trouble with that.
Peter Fine for 12 Water Street. Here to discuss some details on the ramp and stairway assembly that we are seeking to change from what has been previously approved. So I should hand these out first, maybe walk them through this first and then do the handout. Yeah, and small sheets. Zoom in. Okay. So as you can see here, this is the main walk. This is Water Street here. This is the main body of the restaurant. This is the patio area in the back. This is the new walkway that has been created. And I have blow-ups of this as we go through the process, but this is where the main stairway entrance has always been previously approved as granite stairs. And then the handicap ramp that you can see just on the outside here, which was originally approved as a concrete ramp. It has since been shortened, and we are seeking approval to move forward with a pressure treated base with Trex decking and a pipe rail, which I think was already approved as a part of the original application. Not sure these photos help you too much, but that's the front of the building there. This is the side of the building. Actually, in this area here is where the ramp would be.
Should it be rotated?
Yes. This way. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Can I paraphrase just so I understand it?
Sure.
So you want to change the granite steps to pressure treated with the same matching deck material on top, and you
You
want to
got
change
it.
the ramp from concrete to
Correct.
just a deck ramp, let's call it.
Correct.
And that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Shall I continue?
Sure.
So this.
Yeah, these are just the obligatory neighborhood or abutting shots that you've seen in all the prior applications.
Yeah, a lot of this you've seen before, but we're kind of good at that. This is the original drawing that showed the exterior of the ramp. There, and then the stairway right there. Yep. This is the actual material that we are using on the deck and on the tread and on the stair. This is a detail of that area, a little blob of that area. So this is the ramp that we're talking about. This ramp is actually a little shorter because the grade change ended up being less than what was originally anticipated. So that the ramp actually starts right around here. My finger's in the way. Sorry, they're in there. And this is the staircase leading up that would, in a perfect world, end up being the Trex that we're proposing. This is a detail showing, which I'll hand out, which just shows sort of the handicap detailing of we configured meet ADA code. Detail on the steps.
This hand.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, me.
Does anyone have any questions, comments?
My only comment would be if you could just make a note on the drawing where the new start to the ramp is. Sure. You can handwrite it.
Well, before he does that, they're gonna have to adjust a little bit as they get to the grade. Do you want to? We know that's the maximum. It goes.
Oh, okay. All right, then I
Do
retract
it
it.
here.
No, he just noted that it was shorter and he's submitting something that doesn't show that it's shorter.
I would just hate for it to.
Okay.
All
right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I retract that, sorry.
I consider it attractive.
Yeah,
Long
questions?
It was longer. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? HTC 23-0022 is closed. Thank you. HTC 23-00 or sorry, 23-0223. Might be a typo, I'm guessing. It doesn't matter. 12 West Mystic.
12 West Main.
Main Street.
Main, sorry. Is Eric Burns on? Daniel. This was just signage.
It's signage,
Do
yeah.
you want to just move on it because it matches all the other signage on the building, which we consistently approved? Or would you like to?
If it's consistent, I don't see why we should hold it up.
They're pretty consistent, not pretty, they are very consistent about their signage. So I'm not sure in a scenario like this, I don't know that it's worth holding it up another 2 weeks. Unless someone or everyone, anyone objects.
They're using the existing bracket, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have building standards there for all of their vendors.
But we've always approved them.
Yeah.
I don't feel we would hold it up then.
Is this going where the old Ivory Ella was?
So we did sort of make a motion to.
Well, we'll just vote on it. We'll
All right.
get to voting on it.
I was just gonna, the Ivory is going to be split into 2 units, I believe. So this is 1 unit.
The
there'll
other,
probably
the
be
other,
another one.
other applicant has already been in.
That's the one. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if
yeah.
that's the same one. Okay.
I just probably got shut there.
Okay.
But they're all their signs are the exact same.
On the unit.
Yeah. Well, they have them all hanging above.
So it's gonna be that.
Yeah.
That same square.
We used to discuss the actual like sign, like the lettering on the sign and everything, but if someone's right, what they
Right.
I'm good with it. Okay, anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? HTC 23-0023 is closed. HTC 23-0024 31 Gravel Street. Why not? Just name and address for the record.
My name is Brian Edmonds. My wife Kathleen's here also. 31 Gravel Street, Mystic, Connecticut. So we 31 Gravel Street. This is an old drawing of our architectural plans. I think these are 02, but a lot of the work on the building on the house was done in 2005-06. And we have a lot of historic pictures of the residents with shutters. Okay, one of them is including this one, which was taken after the 1938 hurricane when a large boat was right in front of our house. Not what we want to see ever again. Okay. It's pretty basic that the house has had shutters before. When we purchased the house 4 years ago, it did not, and we would just like to replace the shutters that have historically been with this house. We've got some versions of shutters. Kathleen, did you?
You can come up if you want.
These are wooden. All right. So I mean, it's a pretty simple request. We'd like to replace the historic shutters that have been on this structure with fitting shutters now that would be replicas of the old shutters that used to be on it.
And they'll be functioning or what?
They would have a fake, what do you call this?
Fake hinge.
No, it had a real iron hinge that would go on holding the shutter, and I submitted the pictures of the iron, with a little iron.
The question is, will it close to cover the windows?
I'm sorry, if you want to continue
really-
to
you really
speak,
should come
please
up
come
here.
up and identify yourself and sit and speak into the microphone.
You want to sit? You've been done.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right.
Yeah, you
No,
may
if
may
we-
want to repeat what you just said.
They won't, I don't want them to close, I probably would never use them to close, but the proportion will be looking like it's gonna close, that they can close, but I'm not gonna close.
And what's, I see the picture, I don't see what they're made out of. What are they gonna be made out of?
They're made out of wood, and I think I submitted the wood.
Historic district. Historic district.
Oh, so it's called the tilt back, so the tilt back, it's a faux tilt back, really, but it's
Sorry.
the wood, they're real wood shutters. And they're pine wood, and they will be painted black. And this is the this should be uploaded in your, you should have this also. This is a picture of the iron, because I wanted to hang on. Like a real. Oh, sure.
Yeah, because that's not in our packet, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's you.
So that's a picture of the hardware.
Yeah.
Shutters will hang.
And this is just my own question is, I don't know, are the louvers gonna work? Are they gonna be fixed?
I think the louver is gonna be fixed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, it doesn't matter at all. I was just curious.
They make them with the simulated
Yeah.
rail, but it is really expensive to get them to work.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
big time,
And they're expensive, period.
period. Yeah.
Like I said, it would make no difference how I'm gonna vote. It's just a curiosity question.
Yeah.
I think we'll just take those if that's okay and just put them in.
Is this a like for like?
No, because they're not on that building anymore.
Are there shutters on the building right now?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
okay,
when she- when
okay,
in 2002 bought the house, there was shutters on it.
okay.
And they
Right
were
here,
damaged,
this was that era.
so she
And
never put them back
and
on.
it did have a shutter.
But she actually, those were her, she actually had them in her architectural plans to put them back on, which I guess she never
Yeah.
did.
And they
These
weren't
were the
stashed in
architectural
the
plans.
basement.
I wish they were.
Okay.
No, but I think they were really broken, you know.
We did the same thing on Elm Street when we did the White House.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
And did you know that in fact, you're supposed to hang those shutters upside down? The louver,
Okay.
I mean, no one does it because it doesn't look as good, but it's so when you close it, the water can't get
Come
in.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
Right, so
so
the
Oh, yeah,
it runs down.
in theory, they should look like they're upside down if you're looking from the outside, but you can hang them anywhere.
Yeah.
Good.
We see how they did it. Interesting.
So these are the only two things that weren't in the
Yeah.
application,
Yes,
right? Okay.
any other comments, questions? You guys good?
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? All right, HTC 23-0024 is closed. I'll just circle back. You guys, you can hang around if you want.
Thank you.
We'll vote in a couple minutes.
Or we can just find out later, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric, the owners for the applicants for 12 West Main Street, they were in the other room waiting.
Oh.
They do have additional information.
That's right.
They have additional information that they
Much
can
better to
present.
be here than in there. You're gonna enjoy the
Okay,
bar.
so you can sit down and introduce yourself.
I'm Rachel
And
Intrieri.
Pull the mic very close.
Rachel Intrieri, owner of RI Boutique.
Just, I'm gonna reopen HTC 23-0023.
Hi.
Okay.
So everything else was already submitted.
Yep.
But I just recently got information for my awning sign. So I was hoping that you guys could have a look at that. I have the dimensions and
Put that on the table, so this.
yeah.
And turn it, so.
Face the commission,
There you go, keep going, keep going.
just like the commission's looking at it.
There you go.
Good.
Little more,
Close enough.
that's fine.
Close.
There you go.
Those sizes is consistent with the other awnings, so that was given
Yes,
to you by.
correct. It's
Eric.
the same company that has done the other awning signs
Okay.
on West Main Street.
Anyone have any questions?
My only concern is we vote on that, somebody's gonna say it wasn't part of the packet. I'm fine, I don't wanna savor the trip, I'm just don't, that's all I'm worried about.
Nobody was here. So if somebody was, it was noticed, and if anyone was here to object or speak in favor or against, they were here. If they're not
It
here,
also
then
is consistent across.
I agree, I
Yeah.
think we should vote on it, I just don't need anybody
I'm-
raising their hand later saying.
I'm okay with it.
Well, I don't think that, in fact, our guidelines require that the information be submitted in advance. It's just that we're doing it now because we can put it online. Historically, you brought everything to the public hearing and submitted
Fair
it,
enough.
so I
Yeah.
think we're good.
You just have to put the description.
Oh, we gotta do the silly thing now with new business, because you know what, I just don't need anybody.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
yeah. I mean, for the record, it says sign installation, so
It's fine.
Perfect.
sign installation.
And you said that's new, so that needs to be submitted
Just
to
need- yeah,
us.
and I have extra copies if you need.
Just one.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Comments, questions? Good. Anyone have anything, anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of this part? Anyone against that part? Okay, HTC 23-0023 is closed. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Move on.
Sorry I was
Keep-
late to the party.
No worries.
I think that's the second time that's happened in the last couple of meetings, isn't it?
Well,
Uh,
we didn't really hear much else going on, so we just went straight into the.
Sign fine group. open this for-
We should put signs.
You should put signs.
Like, no, a sign saying HDC to the left, town council to the right.
Yeah. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks. HCC 23-0019 14 Bank Street, are they not here at all? So we'll continue that. I just have one question on.
Do you want to motion that, or I'm still confused on if we just say we're continuing it or if we motion to continue it?
I think we do it in the consideration.
Oh, okay, fine.
But I don't know. I don't.
Well, it would be now because it's a public hearing.
Okay.
You consider so you haven't gotten to the consideration yet because it's not closed. So you can make a motion to just to formalize it.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to continue for HTC 23-0019.
Ferguson, second.
All in favor?
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, aye.
Okay, so HTC 23-0019 is closed. What happened to the Pizzetta
Continued,
flooding?
not closed.
Continued.
Continued, sorry.
Pizzetta, they emailed, they didn't have the information from the awning person. So they should be on the next agenda. And they said if they weren't on the next agenda, they would most likely withdraw and resubmit when they got all the information. So they're delayed on the contractor's part.
Okay, so do we have to make a motion to continue?
They're not on the agenda. So we purposely kept
Then
them
we're
off.
okay on time and all that.
Okay, yeah, they asked for the extension, so we're okay on time, but
Okay. So just to be clear, it's not being missed so that it gets approved. It's just being continued.
no, it's going to be on the next agenda as either presented or probably withdrawn or.
Okay.
And it was on the previous
You
meetings,
continued it.
and
it disappeared. That's what I was
Okay.
curious. Okay, so consideration of public hearings, Rick. Move on. All right, I'll go on to HTC 23-0012 81 High Street. This is the solar that you all looked at, but you wanted some additions. Any motions, comments?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I vote to approve it. I think it's the best solar installation we've seen here in a long time. Really well done. So pretty impressed.
Yes, I agree with Mrs. Goodrich, and I vote to approve. Brady.
Goodman approve.
Ferguson, approve.
Keatsman, approve.
Okay, HTC 23-0012 is approved. HTC 23-0017 3 Orchard Lane. This is the safety railing. I will make a motion to approve. Goodman.
Goodrich, second.
All in favor?
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, aye.
HTC 23-0017 is approved. HTC 23-0021 2 Gravel Street. This is the brick, the siding that was already done, the electrical enclosure, and the pergola on top.
And the lights.
And the lights.
And the corner boards beefed up.
And the
And
corner.
the two-tone paint.
Not the paint. We don't approve paint.
I know, I had to just throw it in.
But not the removal of the light. I will make a motion to approve.
Great. Brady, second.
All in favor?
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, I think the sewage treatment plant looks better than it's ever looked.
I agree.
I concur. Aye. Goodman.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, aye.
Thank you. HTC 23-0021 is approved. Thank you. HTC 23-0022 12 Water Street. This is the ramp modification stairs. I will make a motion to approve.
Ferguson, second.
All in favor?
Goodrich, aye.
Brady recused.
Goodman, aye. I think it's better than a concrete ramp.
Yeah. Ferguson, agree. Aye.
Keatsman, aye.
Or HTC 23-0022 is approved. HTC. Oh, yeah. Yeah, HTC 23-0023. This is 12 West Main Street. This is the sign.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Goodrich, second.
All in favor?
Aye. As we said, it matches everything else there, so I vote to approve.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Yeah, if it matches everything, then it's gonna look great. Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, aye.
Right, HTC 23-0023 is approved. HCC 23-0024 31 Gravel Street. This is the shutter replacement. I will make a motion to approve.
Ferguson second.
All in favor?
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye. And I think it's really nice that they're using architecturally appropriate shingles that aren't plastic from Home Depot.
I agree.
And they're not screwing them to the
And
wall.
they're not screwing them to the wall.
Yeah.
I think it's a great look for that building.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Yeah, Brady, I.
You already said aye.
No, I didn't. All right. I said I twice, 2 votes for that.
I don't, should I vote since Todd voted twice? No, no. Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, aye.
HCC 23-0024. I don't think we have any pre-applications. We can skip that. Public communications. So public communication or just
We can address it under that. So you received a FOIA request. So I can read it into the record for you. It's from Ruth Crocker, 28 Pearl Street. She submitted during the time period of 5/8/2022 to 9/15/2023. She requests is in regarding to the fence that was approved at 21 Gravel Street, Mystic, on the property of June and Brian Carroll by the Mystic Historical Commission. I would like to see all text, emails, and other communications made by and between Historic District Commissioners outside of public meeting regarding this case.
okay. I would just request as chairperson that before anyone submits anything, I'd like to just have a conversation with whoever is our attorney on this, just to be 100% clear on what it is we're supposed to be submitting.
Okay, so that'd be Rich Cody. So
I
you'll
can-
submit an email to, you can copy me, CC, so I know what's happening.
Sure.
And then just you'll request Rich Cody, and then should anything happen after that, I'll send an email blast BCCing everybody about the outcome of that.
Because I think it's a little ambiguous and I just would like some clarity.
And I agree. So
Yeah,
we
John
just
agrees,
The same
yeah.
email. So like I said, if I texted my 20-year-old son, hey, we were looking at a fence, that's not
Right.
viable.
Sure,
And
yeah,
I just think, I'm all for open government. I think she should have what she should have. I just don't think anybody should get involved,
yep,
Yeah.
perfectly understandable.
So I'll put
So
that.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear what you said at the start there.
All I'm asking for is just to have a conversation with the town attorney as chairperson to make a determination on what is and what isn't includable
Okay,
before we start submitting anything.
I already sent Tom some stuff,
Yeah.
so I don't have much to send.
Right.
You can
Yeah,
send it
That's
back to
fine.
me or something.
No, it's fine. I'll have it. It's
No.
no problem.
no, and I don't either. And I'm just confused because
It was
says-
easy for me to do, so I just did it.
Yeah.
But,
Well, just so we understand what the
yeah, I understand. Good question. I should have
But
thought of that. I didn't.
It's more about like communications made by and between, but we
Hmm.
have emails that came in that were sent to all of us that were included in the record. So we did then dig, because I have,
Yeah, I'd love to have more.
19,000
I
emails
think I
today.
complied already, but
Yeah.
if there's more info, more guidance, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
We all would, I think. So
Right.
thank you.
so we'll leave it at that. So I'll send you an email tomorrow.
Okay, great. Thanks.
If you do want to preemptively though, email him, go for it. I mean, or if you wanted me to send it to you first.
No, you can send it and just CC me on it.
All right. That's it on that one. What's next? Was there anything else?
There is nothing else.
September 9th.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, approval. You want to take over? No, sorry. You can.
I heard nothing else and I was like, huh? What's
Yeah.
that?
I mean, I'm done, but approval of the minutes.
Yes,
So-
and just an editorial comment that Susan did send them to me ahead of time. I got to look at them, and of course, there's nothing wrong with them. So
All right.
see how that works. If she sends them to a preview, they're perfect. So nice job, Susan. They're perfect. So therefore I move that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Although I'm a little concerned, so I've been completely agreeable today and you found nothing with the minutes, so it's good.
I know.
I'm gonna abstain because I wasn't here, so someone else wants a second.
Goodrich second.
All in favor?
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, I.
I'll abstain.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, aye.
All right, minutes are approved. Any old business?
No old business.
Any new business?
No new business.
Any enforcement update?
The letter, the attorney's letter, I believe requesting a Superior Court hearing for The 8 Pearl Street, or the next level of enforcement, I'll just say, has been sent, and it's in the waiting period now.
That's for that fence.
That's 8 Pearl Street, yes.
Did you ever get a hold of the people on High Street?
No, we're on the second letter for that too, so they never responded.
I think that was it, right? Everything else has
That was the only 2 I had pending.
been corrected. Okay, anything else?
It's good. Like last
Wow.
time.
Wow, the record.
Like last time.
Did we continue? We did continue.
Oh, sorry, one other thing. What happened with the dive bar? I wasn't here, but did you?
Yeah, I went in to speak to them. They're removing it. They're not even using it right now. So they're just
Yes.
looking for a place to take it down and
Oh.
put it and everything. Yeah. So,
I mean, I never see anyone there, so.
no, they haven't used it. There's no one outside. They don't have staff to have it outside or inside.
And I ran into Bailey Pryor the other day, and he said they are going ahead to restore the steps and whatever
Awesome.
they're gonna do in the front.
Great. I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Adjourned.
Adjourned. Oh, and this. Kim. There's
Things on the agenda.